rounds at a yellow orb.
And I fracked my gun in the process.
And yeah, you blew up your gun in the process. Um, but whatever was protecting him from projectiles apparently has been dispelled. He still currently has a teal bluish orb, whatever that does. And at the culmination of his turn, he had basically channeled some sort of spell into the room that you guys were previously in, where the cage was, and then he proceeded to shatter a red orb that was floating in the air behind him on the ground. Whereupon the cage that had fell into the pool, there was like an explosion of basically brackish, bloodish water. And when you looked up, like part of the cage had seemed to be like torn off and warped, was embedded in the ceiling. And when much of the water fell back into the pond, it was revealed that a humanoid figure was kind of like, almost like, I don't know, something out of a horror movie, kind of like clinging to the ceiling. And then as much of the blood fell away, it was revealed it was Aelin, kind of like in hissing with gleaming red eyes and like 2-inch long fangs protruding from the upper lip.
And do the different kinds of stalkers have different visual appearances?
Yes.
Does this look like a level 2?
The ones that you were like basically going after, the most common ones that you've run into basically resemble almost corpses, almost like zombies. And then the one that like dragged, that almost killed Thalia in the Smuggler's Roost, that superficially resembled this one as well, but his movements were, his demeanor was a lot more corpse-like as well. This, you're not sure if it's just because it's fresh or if this is something else going on here. The body is not that deteriorated. Regardless of which, after his, because that's what he does on his turn, the butcher does on his turn, it is now actually Thalia's turn. So Thalia, what would you like to do?
Is there still that face hugger next to Obi?
Yes, there is. If you, like, I'll say for the sake of example, like you could sidle up to the corner and look around, but you can definitely within your line of sight see a coil of blood surging up one of the channels, and it seems to be in the process of like coming over the lip of the channel and going towards Obi as he's swearing and kind of like something happened with his gun. There was a loud report and there's like smoke and flames pouring from the receiver.
Okay. So if I can see it, I'm going to do this.
I mean, I think you can see it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so you cast
Ooh.
Cloud of Dagger directly on it.
What was I doing?
I don't know. I believe you have one spell channeled. Oh no, you were casting Leonid's tiny hut. You're in the process of casting it.
Yeah, so can I stop casting it?
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure. You can abandon it anytime you wish.
Okay. So yeah, so she would cast Cloud of Daggers right where it's at.
Okay, so let me mark that down. How about green? Okay. Would you like to move?
You know what? She will. Probably to right there.
Okay, so as you round the corner, you see another one that's currently in the process of kind of like surging through the water, almost like in a serpentine snake-like pattern, leaving like wakes of this brackish red water flowing out.
Okay.
You don't see signs of any other in the pond further into the room. It appeared whatever Arthur did on the way was super effective.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything with your bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. Milo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Sorry, my computer is really slow to react here. First of all, I am going to attempt to move Milo over so he can get a better view. And that is the butcher right here.
No, that is Aelin. She's currently clinging to the ceiling, upside down, with fangs bared and glowing red eyes.
Ah, the butcher is up here, sorry.
Yes, he's further into the room, and he appears to be surrounded by some sort of faintly transparent spherical, sphere of like tealish energy, and beside him, 3 feet floating off the ground, bobbing gently up and down, is a tealish orb made from some sort of, it looks like some sort of ceramic, and it's just like bobbing up and down.
All right. I cannot hit anything from here. So Milo's gonna pull out his revolver.
Okay.
And if I can get this to cooperate, I'm going to move again, and then I'm going to shoot.
Okay. Who are you shooting at?
I'm going to shoot at this creature. Literally, I cannot do anything. I'm sorry. Give me
Because of
1 second.
latency?
I don't know. It's just really, really slow. So give me 1 second for it to
Yeah,
catch
no
up.
worries. I find that these community sheets are a lot less responsive than, well, they have a longer load up time than the more basic one. But I don't know. I just really, really dislike the other sheets. How about you just roll, 1d20 plus whatever your modifier is.
He got it. 17 to hit, 4 piercing.
Oh yeah, there we go. So who were you shooting at? Okay, I see it. Yeah. You strike it easily as it's slithering through the water, and it kind of like just pops in the water, and kind of like a wake goes out from where its body kind of thrashes a little bit, and then it submerges, and you see no other signs of it.
All right. Milo is going to. I'm going to move around a little bit more just to see if I can get a different view. With the rest of my movement, I'm going to be just doing that.
Okay, yeah, sure. You still have like 15 foot of movement.
I was moving right over here.
Getting behind cover, I see. Alright, so at the end of your turn, actually, no, never mind. Don't worry about it.
That's not ominous.
So, I won't even bother rolling a save for this one, because even if it manages to save, it doesn't have enough hit points to survive your Cloud of Daggers. So your Cloud of Daggers just kind of like, you cast a spell, and the swarm of like, I don't know, you describe it. How does your Cloud of Daggers destroy this face hugger entity?
Well, it kind of looks like a demented blender. it has tiny let's five spinning daggers and 5 foot cubes. So it's probably got like 20 to 30 daggers on each side, just whirling and blurring.
Yeah, sure. So I think initially it resists it a little bit, but your whirling daggers kind of like rip it up and out of the channel, almost like a fork balling up a big bowl of spaghetti. But then as the daggers twirl and chop more, like this thing just begins to like disintegrate and unravel until it's just like blood splatter flying every which direction.
I ordered Alfredo. Sorry. Just catchphrase it for no reason.
All right. In which case, it is now Aylin's turn. So Aylin, if you will recall, the butcher's instructions when she like erupted from the water was to kill them all. And unfortunately, Arthur is closer. So in a move, almost too quick for your eyes to track, she leaps from the domed ceiling that she's clinging to, knocking aside the piece of wreckage that's wedged in the ceiling so that it falls back into the pond of mighty splash. In a single move, it leaps to a position right beside Arthur, and then just crudely lashes out with fingers whose nails have almost elongated to these like razor-like claws. But you have pretty high AC, so I believe in you. Does a 26 hit?
I believe that says 28.
Oh,
Yes,
28
it does.
hit, yeah. So you take, and does a 20 hit? I don't believe a 20 hit, does it?
Nah, dog, 21.
Yeah, so the second attack rings off your shield. The first one catches you a little bit by surprise just for the pure speed, and it gets under your guard and rakes you across like the shoulder down the side of your chest for 6 bludgeoning damage. The second one, almost as a reflex, you throw up your shield and it smashes into your shield. Were it not for your shield, you're pretty sure it would have got you pretty good as well. And that is its turn. Arthur, it is now your turn.
Did it also make a wisdom saving throw to not get...
You are correct.
damage?
You are correct.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah. So it still takes 7 radiant damage, and I don't believe it's vulnerable to radiant. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it is vulnerable to radiant. So it takes 15. However, you have to make a wisdom save, constitution saving throw to maintain concentration.
I do. $11 does it.
I think 11 does, because
Yes,
you
it
only
does
took-
it. Does it.
Right,
No, it
yeah.
doesn't.
So you maintain concentration. So it is now your turn.
Okay. First, I want to disengage.
Fair enough.
Is he technically in the bubble that I'm in my radius or no?
Yes, you are. He is technically in the bubble, but you can immediately see that your spirit guardians, when they run into whatever this tealish sphere is, they seem to be kind of like smashing up against it, and kind of like there is a slight give, and you see like the tealish orb kind of like pulsate and crackle with like light every single time one of your spirit guardians lashes out with whatever weapon that they're using against this translucent dome.
Okay.
Do you
Arthur,
suspect that it's doing something, but like it's definitely not affecting him?
Arthur will call out to the rest of his party to shoot the teal one, please. And then he will cure orb level 1 himself.
All right, so you regain 8 hit points. So you watch the teal orb, right? And then you turn to call out to your party as you heal yourself to shoot the teal orb, and to your shock, Aelin, or the creature that is Aelin, that was Aelin, is actually standing right beside you. It uses its legendary action to move beside you. Obadiah, it is now your turn.
I can't see anything around me, correct? Besides,
No,
My
whatever the thing that was creeping up on you, that was about to pounce on your face, got like blendered to death by a cloud of daggers.
alright, well, I'm going to drop my hyena rifle and pull out of its holster the rhino revolver.
Kev, quick question. Did it technically just enter the thing for the first time? I don't know the exact wording.
Not technically, because it's using it's kind of like almost like its reaction.
It says when it enters the area for the first time on a turn. So
Yeah, I would classify that as on its turn. So
okay, sure, whatever.
Alright, so then I dash to here.
okay. Do you leave your sorry, not your hyena rifle where
Yeah,
it was?
I dropped it, remembering where I dropped it by the entrance here, but
Okay,
That
I
thing-
will draw a little crude gun there as best I can with my doodling skills.
because as my note says, for my gun, broke as fuck. Yep,
Doodle skill.
hey man, I like it. And that's all I can do.
All right. It's going to expend another legendary action to make an additional claw attack against Arthur. Yeah. Which, like, misses visibly as it stumbles.
I think she freaks it now.
You actually, Arthur, roll me an insight check. All right. I'll actually whisper something to you.
So I don't know about you, but anyone else spend any ridiculous amount of money on fireworks today so they can blow off their hands tomorrow?
Yep.
I actually only spent 40, but it was buy one get one, so I got like 4 of those big batteries.
I make my own in my garage.
He's only kidding, FBI. He is not making explosives in his garage.
That is not.
Give me a
That
second,
is not
guys.
real.
My speakers just blew up. I'm going to switch back to headphones. All right, here we go. All right, did you catch the? Oh wait, that's not to my. That's to myself, not to Arthur. Ha! All right, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Obadiah. Oh yeah, Obadiah's turns over. It is now the butcher's turn. The butcher. The butcher turns to look at. No, it can't see Obadiah. It can't see Thalia. Actually, it can see Thalia, but she's far away. He's going to turn towards you, Arthur, as your kind of like back is towards him, kind of, and he's going to mutter a spell. I would like for you to roll a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, you're fine.
Hi.
Yeah, you're fine. he mutters a spell and he reaches out with one hand and he clenches it in like a fist while pointing his hand towards you, and you feel like a wave of paralytic force come over you. But if you're familiar with this hold person spell, and you just kind of steal your mind and shrug it off. And he swears. It is now Thalia's turn.
Thalia can barely see that orb. But she can see it. That is how many feet away?
100 feet. Oh yeah, by the way, and the butcher, after his spell fails and he swears, he yells out at the creature who was Aelin, "Stop him!" and points at Arthur for clarification. All right, Thalia,
Okay.
what are you doing?
I have nothing that'll get that far, so... Well, what does she have as her weapons? That's the next question. You know what? Why not? She's gonna start aiming for the teal orb with her crossbow, so she'll pull out her light crossbow.
Nice. I think the max range increment on a
Oh, it's
light crossbow is like 320 feet or something.
I think the light crossbows are
Yeah,
less
320.
than that.
It's 80, 320.
Oh, never
Yes.
But that
So
just means I
it's-
have
it's
to move
on
a little
your-
bit.
True. Yep, you just have to move closer. That's it.
How wide are those streams?
You can easily hop over them with ease. The closest place you'd be able to hit the teal orb is here. The other location on the other side would be obscured by both Obadiah and a retaining wall.
Obi's quite. His dad did not make glass doors for a living. He's a large gentleman.
So she'll spend her turn getting to that spot then, because it's 35 feet.
Okay. All right, Milo, it is now your turn. Actually, at the end of your turn, at the end of Thalia, your turn, she's gonna expend her last legendary action to make an additional claw attack against Arthur.
Poor Arthur. Good thing he. Oh.
So 21 managed to hit you. You take 8 bludgeoning damage, and you need to roll another Constitution saving throw. But I believe in you. You've got Warcaster. Yeah, you're fine. All right, Milo, it is now your turn.
I am invisible.
You are invisible. You are now invisible. Would you still like to take the rest of your movement?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So at the top of Aelin's turn, she is going to. Yes, you're correct. I need to make a wisdom saving throw. She still takes 12 radiant damage.
Wow, Sylvanas leads the horde now.
She is going to attempt to attack you, Arthur,
I'm already done.
but it looks like she's trying to grab you instead of trying to
That's cool.
outright hit you. It misses with her first lunge, like you kind of just push her aside of your shield,
Sylvanas sound like
and then she's going to attempt to do the same thing, but this time kind of like going for like a rugby tackle. And you manage to brace yourself against the shield, and she just ends up kind of like barging into your shield and kind of being deflected to one side. It's now your turn, coincidentally.
Okay. He will put away his axe and he will look at her in the eyes and say, "You don't have to do this, you know."
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
Roll 20, roll 20, roll 20.
Guys, I'm real good at this.
Yes.
You judging by her expression, like your remark doesn't seem to have elicited any type of reaction. She still has this like kind of like this almost like slavering, like rabid dog look expression on her face.
All right, then I'm going to, if I still have an action, take the dodge action, and I am going to level 1 cure wounds myself.
Okay, fantastic.
I can't have more than my max HP, silly game.
Yeah, this thing is super strong. I'm glad I gave it to you guys. In fact, I think you guys might be fine on this encounter. All right, she's going to take a legendary action because it's been her turn to try and claw the shit out of you. Miss. Yeah. Obadiah, it is now your turn.
Okie dokie. 15.
By the way, if you guys can imagine this, like Arthur is literally just like kind of like ducked down behind his shield, and there's just this like whirlwind of like teeth and claws, just like it almost sounds like a staccato. It almost sounds like one of those bass drum scenes from like one of those like Russian death metal, you know, like the 8,000 RPM drum beat.
Gotcha. I am going to assess the situation, see that for some reason Arthur has his weapon put away and he's dealing with the chick. So I'm going to take the first shot at the butcher himself.
Okay. Let me check his AC. He's going to take his reaction to throw up one of his hands in front of him, and a hexagonal pattern of like a half sphere or a dome interposes itself, and your round smashes into it with a bright flash and shatters against the ceiling.
I want to cuss and take another shot, my second shot at the remaining floating orb.
Okay. Yeah. Your shot slams into it, no problem. The orb visibly cracks and shatters down one side, but it still seems to be in one piece. And you watch as the kind of like the tealish sphere of whatever energy that's interposing itself between, that's diverting the spirit guardians, kind of like wobbles.
I'll use my bonus action to reload with silvered rounds.
Okay. It is Aelin is going to give up trying to claw Arthur and outright try and
Bite? Dissolve me into a pool of acid?
No. I was going
You're
to
right.
say it's going to outright try and tackle you into the water. So roll me, and I'll give you advantage for this since you were taking the dodging. Actually, no, it can't. Its legendary actions can only be used to make unarmed attacks, so never mind. So it tries to grab you. 14, which doesn't do it. Jesus Christ, 21 AC. It is now Jack's turn. Sorry. It is now the butcher's turn.
Notes.
Jack?
Question mark?
Meta. He throws his hands out, and he shouts a word. Do any of you speak? I think it's demonic. No, it's not demonic. Abyssal?
Infernal?
Yeah, infernal. It would be infernal, not abyssal. Do any of you speak infernal? Okay, so yeah, you do not know the word he shouts, but it definitely sounds diabolical. And all of a sudden, the space between himself, Arthur, and Obadiah is plunged into darkness.
Bugger, bugger, bugger.
So I will just draw a black circle, and I'll leave the center of the circle unfilled for people to actually see what the fuck they're doing.
Give it a second aura. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, that becomes a dark circle. Yeah, so supernatural darkness plunges, drops you into, and you're unable to see anything. Like you're unable to even see the tip of your nose. If you could see the tip of your nose, that is. I think most people can see the tip of their nose. All right, and then he does something which only Thalia sees. He apparently is. He kind of goes down into a crouch, and he like picks up a piece of chalk, and he starts drawing something on the ground on the pedestal in front of him. Thalia, it is now your turn.
Okay, so I can still see the teal orb, right?
I think so.
Oops.
Yeah, you can just see it, kind of like the edges of it past the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, so she'll stay right where she's at. She's gonna, oh. What can she do? Okay, so she will go ahead and take careful aim. She's not the best with this, but she'll still try. And hopefully she hits. No.
All right, so you fire your shot, and because your shot flies into the darkness, like you can kind of see it's almost like a crescent shape of the side of the orb, and you like predict where the orb would be past the darkness, and you fire into the darkness. You're not entirely sure if your crossbow hit or not. Would you like to take extra movement? Well, your movement rather.
Yes.
Okay. At the end of your turn, at the top of Milo's turn, Aelin is going to expend her last legendary action for this round to attack Arthur, of course. So this would just be a straight roll. It's not at disadvantage because reasons she can see in the dark. Well, she can see in the magical dark. So 17 misses, correct. God, 21 AC, man. Like,
She's got like a 50-50 chance to hit me, and she hasn't hit me but once.
yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I'd be dead.
It's kind of sad. Milo.
Milo's gonna use his action and his movement to dash up here.
And you are still invisible.
And that's it.
Okay. Top of her turn. I mean, that's her order. She's, you know, that's what she's been told to do. All right, so she fails. She takes 34 radiant damage, which is actually a fair bit. And she's not looking. Oh, actually, no, you can't see anything. So never mind. However, she's going to try and claw the shit out of you.
Is my dodge action nullified because I can't see?
It's just a flat roll, basically.
I'm just saying because it would be a disadvantage because I'm dodging.
Yeah, but because you can't see, because you're technically blinded,
Okay.
She doesn't get advantage because advantage and disadvantage cancels out. 26, however, is a hit, so you take 9 bludgeoning damage. And she's actually Actually, no, she doesn't deal 9 bludgeoning damage to you. She grapples you instead. And then she attempts to bite you. Which kind of scrapes off the side of your armor. However, she's going to use her movement to attempt to throw both you and her into the water, to your right and to her left. So I would like for you to roll like an athletics or, even an acrobatics check is fine. Oh, fingers crossed. All right, so you both go plunging into the water. The water, you're still in magical darkness, so it's impossible to tell how deep you've sunken to as you kind of both thrash around, almost like a crocodile, kind of like tumbling. But your head is definitely not above water. When your feet when you hit the bottom and you kind of maneuver to get your feet under you, you realize that your head isn't breaking the surface. It is now your turn. And yes, Obadiah, you hear the sounds of some sort of basically grunting and scraping, and then you hear a very, very loud splash directly in front of you.
Okay. So does Arthur not do anything for his turn, or?
No, it is Arthur's turn. I'm just
Okay.
telling you that's what.
Gotcha.
I guess I'm just going to try to break free from her grasp.
Okay. Athletics check or acrobatics. And this is just a straight roll. You don't have disadvantage because you don't really need to see what's going on to break grapple. All right, so you managed to tear yourself out of her grasp, whether the water was making the situation too slick to handle. But yeah, you managed to tear yourself out of her grasp. You are still, however, in pitch darkness, magical darkness, underwater enough that when you stand upright, your head doesn't break the surface of the water.
Do I know which way is down?
Yes, you can definitely tell which way is down. Your feet is down.
Can I feel the wall?
So you notice immediately that the wall to your left, kind of near the bottom starts to curve inwards, almost like you're in the shape of a bowl.
Okay. Are there little gaps in the rock, or rocks that are bigger than, is it a smooth surface or is it kind of jaggedy?
There's jagged edges and crevices and stuff to your feel.
Anything I could get a grip on to try to climb out?
Sure, you could make an athletic check to try and climb out. All right. Yeah, 17 is more than enough. So you managed to lever and haul yourself out of the water, which would bring you back to about here probably, or here. However, I think you would. No, it's fine. I think you'd be smart enough not to turn your back to the creature that's in the water with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't shown any sort of sign of not wanting to attack me, so he'd probably just try to back up to the wall here.
Right. Okay. So it's going to lunge out after you and try and drag your feet from under you at the end of your turn. And it misses. You hear the sounds of something splashing, and then you feel something swipe against your greaves, and you bring your shield down and slam, and whatever that was touching your greaves flinches backwards.
Twang.
His most pressing concern was that this was going to be not something he could climb out of, and was just going to be at the bottom in his full plate armor. But now that he knows he can get out, he's not so scared of it.
Okay. And Obi, it is now your turn.
I can't see dick. I would take a step back just out of... Well, I can't see.
Yeah, you take a step back, and immediately you see in front of you just a wall of darkness, faintly spherical in its shape.
Oh, that's annoying. I'll just go to the left. You can just get there. And I see my buddy. I'm going
Yeah,
to.
25 feet from here.
I'm going to take a shot at him with the grit, my last grit, with the
Okay.
silvered round.
All right. So I need you to roll me. I believe it's like a 1d20 or something. Yeah.
Is there a bunch of fake hymns up there?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys recall me saying so a couple of sessions, well, 2 weeks ago. I should have brought it up again. Yeah, like in his space where he's standing, it almost looks like there's like a mirage or a heat shimmer effect. But like close to where he's standing, like almost overlapping each other, like they're standing in each other, is multiple copies of him. And I believe you roll a d20, and then each time a creature targets you for attack during the spell's duration, targets one of the duplicates. If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. So yeah, you shoot one of the you shoot into the like 4 people standing in like a group, and one of them just like kind of like disintegrates into like a momentary mist that quickly just like vanishes. And there's now only three images.
Bugger. I don't know. This is up to you. Can I see the sphere from here, or is it blocked?
Yes, you can see the sphere from here. You can kind of see the like similar to Thalia, like a crescent outline of it.
Alright, and then I'll take my second shot. If it has cover, I do have. Oh nope, I don't have that one. I have the crossbow, so I don't have sharpshooter.
Yeah, you don't have
So-
sharpshooter.
So,
I'm going to give it like plus 5 AC. It's in 3/4 cover.
all right, F it. I'm gonna take my second shot at that.
Yeah. Normally that would have hit, but because it's partially obscured, you fire the shot. You don't hear the sounds of the impact. Instead, you hear the sounds of like a silver round smashing into masonry and sending chips and stone flying everywhere.
Bugger. Okay. I'm gonna take my last movement here, and that's me.
All right. Again, the creature that was previously alien is going to try, and it actually surges out of the water, and then attempts to swipe the shit out of Arthur. All right, at least try and bludgeon him. 18 misses. God, 21. It's just
Also,
so,
Spirit Guardian.
so terrible. It's not her turn yet.
Oh, okay.
It is
That's
now.
his symbol.
It is now Butcher's turn. The Butcher, as he's got kind of in his left hand, he's drawing like something. He's doing something with a piece of chalk on the surface in front of him. He glances up at you as you fire a shot, and one of his copies vanishes. Sorry, Obadiah, rather. And then he's going to... he's almost out of... He frowns at you, and then he points a finger towards your direction.
That's no good.
And there's a brilliant flare of light that almost blinds you, and then like almost like a staccato flashes of additional light flares goes off, almost like a photographer's camera cycling on what are they called, like the high speed multiple captures, and he fires 3 scorching rays at you.
Bugger.
Does the 31 hit you?
A 31 doubles my AC.
Alright, so first one strikes you like directly in your forehead. Second one lances off further down into the past you into the room and just does absolutely fuck all. And the third one hits you directly square in the chest. You end up taking 16 fire damage.
Yep.
Oh, that could have been nasty.
Well, I already lowered it for the original 7, so I just gotta lower it for the remaining 9.
Yeah. Three. Let me look that up. You're right. 3 plus 4 plus. Why does he have a +5? Yeah, why does he have a +5? He doesn't have a +5.
I don't know. All those hits would have been the same against Obadiah because I think he's got 16 AC, right?
15.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah,
they,
so
they both would have hit.
Yeah,
They
good
still both
catch.
would've hit.
That definitely wasn't a +5. I was like 31. What the fuck?
I had the same reaction.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand why. Because I didn't have his proficiency bonus assigned, and I think I was assigning his proficiency bonus by. No, that still wouldn't make sense as well because his proficiency bonus is only a +3.
What are his feats?
Nothing you need to worry about.
What does he get?
Shit. Okay, yeah, and he does whatever he's doing with that piece of chalk. Aelin is going to take her last legendary action for her cycle and attempt to futilely smash herself against Arthur's shield.
She needs that +5.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna. I mean, she had advantage, but his dodging is kind of like putting the crimp on this. Thalia, it is now your turn.
Okay, so Thalia's gonna move.
Oh, by the way, I should clarify. Your spirit guardian seems to be wearing away at the teal orb. The teal orb now is almost like incandescently bright, and the teal sphere that's surrounding him is almost like flickering like static.
There we go. I should be able to clearly see the orb now.
All right, so it's a straight shot, no cover.
Three damage.
All right. Yeah, your bolt smashes into the orb and actually kind of wedges itself, like it sends like a circular shadow pattern out on the side that it's facing you, and your bolt is actually wedged in the orb. And you notice now that like because you have a point of reference, your bolt sticking outside of this orb is kind of like twirling in this almost like canted, almost like almost like Earth, like it's canted on like a 25-degree angle, and it's just like spinning.
Awesome. And I can still do a bonus action, right?
Correct.
I don't know why it's showing that as a bonus action. Oh. I'm not sure why it's showing two of my spells as a bonus action, but one of them is an action. So never mind. That's done.
Okay. Milo, it is now your turn.
All right, Milo is going to dash again and get up to here.
Okay.
As a free action, can I take out a sprocket from one of his pouches?
Sure, you can do so.
Okay. And that's
Alright.
it.
So, wisdom saving throw. She fails and takes 16 radiant damage. That roll is a little bit crap, both for the wisdom saving throw and the damage. All right. Yeah, and by the way, Whitehole, sorry, not Whitehole. The butcher is now kind of muttering under his breath as he quickly scribbles whatever he's scribbling on the stone in front of him. Aelin is going to follow her previous instructions. You know what? I'm gonna roll something for her actually. Arthur, you notice something a little bit odd as you're fighting in this darkness. As you're kind of like bracing yourself behind, kind of almost hunkered down fully behind your shield as you're just like bracing it against this onslaught. The onslaught stops. You're not sure why. There's like a gap of 3 or 4 seconds where just like nothing happens. Nothing slams into your shield. It's now your turn.
All right, I'm going to repeat the thing I've said. You don't have to do this, you know. We're still your friends. And then he's going to shift over this way a little bit, kind of feeling along the wall. And that's all.
Roll me a
he'll
persuasion.
keep dodging. Real good at this.
You need to start saying you're really bad at this, and maybe you'll get a good roll.
Whatever you said provoked a kind of like a almost like a furious hiss. And out of like from wherever the sound comes from, lashes a claw, at which misses. By the way, you're still dodging, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Obadiah, it is now your turn.
Okie doke. I'm going to say, excuse me. Get here. So I have a very good shot at the orb. Where'd my thing go? There it is. My first shot.
You must count this. Yeah. You destroy the orb. The orb, your round smashes into the orb, and like something happens to it that the bolt sticking in it kind of acts almost like a knife stuck in the side of an apple, and it just kind of unravels and then shatters, and then you watch as the teal sphere that's surrounding him kind of like static until it just kind of fizzes out, and then it drops into the pond as almost like tiny specks of teal colored sand.
Fantastic. I'm going to bonus action to reload 3 more silver and take my second shot. I am going to use my saved inspiration to give myself advantage on this shot.
Okay. Would you like to use your inspiration for the mirrored image roll or the attack roll? I'll ask you that question.
Well, I'd rather do it for the attack, because if I miss, it don't mean dick.
Okay.
And here we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Roll me a 1d20. Let's hope you roll higher, lower than an 11.
Nope.
Yeah. You shoot one of the images directly in its forehead. However, unluckily, the image simply shatters and dissipates into fine mist before evaporating.
That's fine. There's one less. So there's only 2 left. Okay. And that's my action. And my turn.
A claw lashes out at you. Not that it's going to hit you. One of these days it will. Oh, 21. There we go. For 9 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, and finally your spirit guardians flickers out. No. Yeah, which is what she does. Oh man, he's running low on spell slots. Yeah, okay, so you see him almost like a pompous flourish. He reaches up finally and he lifts his chalk up and brings it down in a kind of like a sideways slash. Almost like he's finishing off the last mark of whatever he's drawing. And the chalk snaps as he flings the chalk to one side. And then he slams his palm down on the chalk mark. And and the ground around, like when he brings it down, for a moment you almost thought he let off like a thunder wave. The entire room, the entire dome quakes, and dust and bricks patter down from the ceiling, falling into the ponds of splash, clattering off the cobblestone sides. And then, unlike a thunder wave, the rumbling continues and continues and continues, and it becomes evident that like there's some sort of like almost like an earthquake going on. And there's, at the crescendo of this earthquake, there's a loud crunching sound directly in the center of this room. And then immediately you guys see the water kind of start to funnel directly in the center of this room. By which I mean it starts to like funnel as in like in a bathtub or in a drain. And that's his turn. Thalia, it is now your turn.
Thalia
Sure, like that, precisely.
is going to try and... You know what? Are all those mirror images touching one spot?
Yes, they are. Technically, they're around him in a 5-foot square.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I thought you might do that. Yeah, okay. I'll place it directly on his square. But for the sake of argument, which square do you want to be it on? I'll say that it targets him basically, but we need to put it on a square.
To the left of him.
Okay.
And then she's going to move.
And your previous cloud of daggers evaporate.
Yeah. She's gonna move right there so she's behind a pillar.
Okay. So you seek partial cover behind a pillar. Milo, it is now your turn. Invisible gnome.
Oh, sorry. Milo is going to walk up a bit closer to this guy and his mirror images. And he is going to fire his rhino revolver. I don't know if he gets advantage because he's coming out of
You're
invisibility.
invisible. All right, so he doesn't see you coming. Roll a 1d20. Actually, no. Yeah. Does mirror image come before or after AC? Do you guys know?
Before.
Okay, so
'Cause
roll a
this is
1d20.
It says the mirror images have a AC of like 10 plus your spellcasting modifier or something like that.
Yeah, that it hit regardless anyway. His spellcasting modifier isn't that big. Actually, 15 directly hits spellcasting modifier, I think. Which I think you hit. No, you just have to roll a. I think this is his last image. So yeah, your shot slams into the last image, dissipating, stripping him of his last protection, and it reveals him kind of looking a little bit shocked. The final person kind of standing there. He has mage armor on as well, by the way, in case you didn't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the invisibility drops from you as your gun echoes and bellows a bit of smoke.
All right. I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to hide behind one of these pillars over here.
Okay, sure. So
Not
you
really
see
hide,
Caleb
I
behind
guess,
the pillar.
because I've already used it, but he's just walking behind
All
it.
right. So kind of in shock as he realized the last of his protections have been stripped away, he calls into the darkness and he yells out, "Stop messing around and obey my command. Obey my commands. Kill him and then deal with these three."
It's the start of his turn. He has to take damage.
It's not the start of his turn. It's Aylin's turn.
Oh, it's Aylin's? Okay.
He's giving her a command. Aylin is going to make a charisma
Did he take
saving throw.
damage?
Not yet.
He didn't from the Cloud of Daggers when it was cast?
Not yet, because it's not his
Okay.
turn yet. He starts his turn in the Cloud of Daggers and he takes damage then. She fails her charisma saving throw, so she is going to... oh man. I hate these fucking NPC sheets because the link is always broken. So I'm going to do this manually. So it's 1d20 plus 5. I think so. No, it's plus 7. $18 does not hit. Actually, you're still dodging, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so 18 does not hit. And no addition. You feel something hit, something slam into your shield, and you feel from your shield a pulse of arcanic energy, but it doesn't manage to deal you any harm. It is now your turn.
Alright, I'm a disengage. And say, "Hello, friend." And then
Push him,
just
push him,
cure
push him.
wounds- Not that, sorry.
And cure
Or
wounds
anything.
him?
Yes, cure wounds him, no myself. Just level 1, of course.
Okay. Right. Wow, you regain so... you regain all the hit points.
And that's all.
I'm going to have to read something super funny. So, bottom of your order, a blur appears behind you, and Aeglin is again on you. Obadiah, it is now your turn. I'm going to have to read up the spell that he's casting to see how hilarious this is.
Alright, well, now that I have 3... Actually, no, I'm going to use my bonus action. Because I needed health. And then I'm going to take 2 shots silvered at Dickhead.
Okay.
Mother.
No, it is not fully drained. In the purpose of this single round, it's drained down probably 2 feet, and there's definitely a noticeable dip near the center where the funnel is. Your first shot is aimed at him
Yes.
specifically, and your second shot is also aimed at him.
Yeah, the second
Okay,
one.
yeah. So your first shot slams directly into his left shoulder, and he grunts as he twists sideways, and you can see kind of like the bullet wound and kind of like blood pouring out of the wound.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
Man, he doesn't have that many hit. What was I thinking, giving this guy so few hit points?
That he's a wizard.
And yes, and now he has to save a cloud of daggers. Actually, no, he doesn't save a cloud of daggers. There is no save. He just takes 10 slashing damage. Alright, he's going to move out of the cloud of daggers and kind of sidle up to one side of your of the platform, and he's going to he glares at you, Arthur, and then he says to you,
Sorry.
he says to you, my research is complete. You won't stop me. I'll find it before you do. And then he's going to, you get an attack opportunity, by the way. He's going to step backwards off the platform into the, kind of like splashing into the water. So yeah, you hand axe him in the shoulder, in the already wounded shoulder, and he kind of grunts in pain. Actually, he needs to make a couple of Constitution saving throws.
He also needs to make one for the darkness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to make 2 concentration checks. No, 3 concentration checks, because he got shot. He has advantage on these, but that doesn't matter. I'll roll again. Yeah, so that succeeds. And then the third one. Oh, maybe this might fail. Yeah, oh, yeah, no, it succeeds. So yeah, he maintains concentration. He steps backwards as you axe him in the already shot shoulder. He disappears in the darkness. You hear a splash. It's actually kind of humorous because almost immediately, you guys see him kind of like come out of the darkness because he's being carried by the water swirling down into the center. But as he does so, he kind of like reaches over his shoulder into a pouch that appears to be directly behind his shoulder blades. He pulls out what you can only understand to be a parchment of some sort, and he kind of shouts it's like 2 or 3 words in Infernal as this scroll erupts in balefire, like this greenish, bluish, almost sickening colored fire. Milo, I'm going to ask you, would you like to counterspell?
Do not have that.
You do not have counterspell. Okay.
And I have no spell points left. I have 1 spell point.
Okay, so you guys see, as he does so at the end of his turn, and he casts this spell, and the spell scroll erupts in banefire. Kind of like a dot appear on him and then quickly balloon out until it looks like he's in the middle of a hamster ball. A hamster ball that is just large enough to fit him. The blood gets pushed out. All the objects the flotsam that's not like part of his attire gets pushed out of it, and he's standing kind of in this hamster ball that's kind of just like half submerged in the water as he's being carried around by the waves, by the swirling.
How big is the hamster ball? Like 5 feet?
It's 5 feet, around about. All right, it is now Obadiah's turn. Actually, no, it's now
it's
Thalia's
Thalia's,
turn.
yeah.
Obi went.
Yeah, quick. Well, no, she'll go ahead and try it. So he's technically still floating in the water, right?
Yeah, he's half submerged in the water and going down the drain, as to say.
So, could I make an highly educated guess that he'd be, in the next square, where he'd be next square? Based on the water swirl?
You can tell that wherever the water is going, chances are the on his next turn, the sphere is likely to pop down into wherever the water is draining. Where that goes, you can only make, you can only speculate. But
Okay.
You're pretty deep down.
Well, she wants to cast Cloud of Daggers again where he's going to be.
Okay, sure. You can cast it directly in the center of the room.
Yeah, that's what she'll do.
Like directly over like in basically where the hole is in the funnel. Oops, that's not where I meant to put it. Actually, I could have just moved the other one. What am I thinking? All right. Would you like to use your movement?
She's not sure where'd she go.
Okay, Milo.
Milo says, I think it's an hourglass, and he casts this.
Against who?
He's just sitting in a ball. It'd be really funny. He's trying to go somewhere. Cast a cloud of daggers.
Okay.
And then
Your spell
or something right in front. So just
splashes out and slams into the sphere and just kind of like erupts all of the sphere and just drains down its side where it touches the water and sizzles. And none of the spell appears to have made it through the shield. The sphere,
Alright.
whatever it's made of, the hamster ball.
And he's gonna use his movement then. And that's it.
All right. It is now Ailing's turn. She failed her charisma saving throw pretty badly last turn. You did not dodge, did you?
No, sir.
Okay, so she's going to try and do the same thing again. Actually, this time, since you're out of darkness, you can actually see. Actually, let me look at this spell. The darkness might actually be gone. Yeah. No, it's not gone. Never mind. It's the concentration. Okay, so she reaches out, but instead of like this almost supernaturally fast claw going through your extremities, she's reaching out this time with her arms, her palm openly splayed, and between her fingers is crackling this necrotic, entropic energy as she attempts to reach out and touch some part of your exposed skin with it. I forgot I was using charisma saving throw. Never mind. So 25 hits you, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you take. Let me look up the spell. Okay, and she's casting it at second level, so. So you take 20 necrotic damage as her hand reaches past your shield and just brushes against the side of your chest, your torso, and you feel with sudden pain as this corsic entropic energy lances throughout your body, and you kind of feel multiple organs atrophy, and your muscles and bones ache. And that's her turn. It is now your turn.
All right. Oh boy, I zoomed way out. First, I'm going to second level orb wounds cure myself.
Okay, which uses up 2 of the spell slots. But you heal nearly all of the damage that you just took.
Completely, the entire bit of it.
Yeah, this thing is so strong. I kind of meant it to.
Mm-hmm.
My sheet's not loading and I accidentally closed it. I think he's going to disengage then and jump in.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so good. Can you describe what Arthur is thinking? Like what his motivations are for jumping in?
I hope there's a drain small enough for me to stop him from getting to the bottom, and that I'm heavier than him and going to sink faster.
Well, you're definitely right about one thing. You are definitely heavier than him. When you jump in, do you make any effort to stay afloat?
No, he's trying to sink.
Okay, so yeah, you go straight to the bottom. And now that you're not in darkness anymore, you can kind of see how deep you are. If you were to raise your hand straight up, your hand would break the surface. And you can kind of see now that there's like a funnel, like a funnel of air going down to the drain. The drain at the bottom is about 6 or 7 feet wide. It looks to be there was some sort of obstruction there that has fallen through into wherever this crevice is going. And you can't quite, like from your vantage point, see exactly how deep this thing goes. But yeah, it would be unwise, and you can definitely feel the water like pushing past you. In fact, I'd like you to make me a strength saving throw to resist being swept along with this thing. Yeah, you're fine. So you can feel the water kind of like tearing past you, almost pulling you down into wherever this thing is going. Yeah. Obadiah, it is now your turn.
All right, so the water's funneling down. He's not like following it like this way, correct?
No, it's kind of like whoever drew that before kind of was spot on. It's kind of like this thing.
Okay, that's fine. It's raining. Okay, good. Well, that changes things. I'm going to bonus action reload because I don't have any ammo. With the silvered rounds in just that range, I'm going to start taking shots at the thing that was attacking Arthur. Because my ass is not jumping in the fucking blood.
You're shooting at Aelin, correct?
Yep, correct.
Oh, I forgot to do something for Aelin, actually.
And these are silvered rounds.
Yeah. Let me look at this quickly. 22 definitely hits. Yeah,
Alright, and the second one?
that's way more than her AC. And
That's the second
26 also hits. So she 2 bullets slam into her. She reels backward, as your round smash into her abdomen and her hip. Yeah, they definitely look like they did some damage. Silver appears to be effective on her.
And that's my turn.
Okay. On his turn, he appears to be unable to. Just one minute, someone's knocking at my door. Oh, sorry. I've actually, someone's actually brought me lunch. So, do we want to take like a 2-minute break?
Do it.
So yeah, fire whatever when you're ready. Come back and hit next. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey Zach, how's it going?
Pretty good. Just testing out my new mic. How's the sound on your end?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Thanks.
Man, I
man.
was totally worried that these guys would be in trouble. But like, man, they haven't even taken barely any damage. I think we're all back except is
The
Perrin
lead
back?
weight. The lead weight.
Oh, I think everyone's back then. Yeah, okay, so on his turn, he appears to be not able to do all that much from inside the hamster ball, except be carried by the water around him. Coincidentally, well, incidentally, it flows almost directly into your path, Arthur. Would you like to roll an athletics check to attempt to grab this thing to prevent it from going further? I'm going to give you disadvantage because you're submerged.
Yes.
Okay.
17.
Let me think about this. Because 17 is pretty high.
Good roll.
You grab it. You manage to interpose both your hands around this sphere, this hamster ball. You manage to hold it momentarily in place. How long you'll be able to hold this thing, keep this thing, you're not entirely sure if the water kind of breaking against it. But the man inside, the butcher, looks angry, looks furiously at you, and almost like the impudence. And then he shouts something, and I want to see if he can actually shout through this thing.
I don't think he can. If it's a spell, I think it is.
Oh, actually, he can move it. So he's going to try and contest your grappling onto it by running along its side to try and roll it like a hamster ball.
Is this resilient sphere thing?
But he just ends up running kind of up its side, tripping, and then kind of sliding to a bottom. And then he nothing that can pass through in or out. Can breathe. Blah 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 blah. It's going to look. He's going to climb to his feet. He's going to look up at Aelin, and then he's going to point at you, Arthur, and then kind of draw his finger across his throat. Whether she understood that or not, you're not entirely sure, but you do recall that his last command was to kill you and then kill your friends. So that's his turn for now. Aelin, it's your turn. Actually, no, Aelin's going to do that. She's going to use her legendary action to actually dive in after you. And attempt to... Actually, she needs to make a strength saving throw. $14 is a little bit low. Yeah, she's going to try and claw you. Which misses because you have 21 AC. Thalia, it's now your turn.
Give me just a moment. I keep hitting the wrong button. She's gonna keep the clouded daggers, and she's actually gonna yell at Arthur to watch for the dagger. And then she's going to cast this at the butcher.
By the way, Arthur, I'm giving you inspiration for jumping into water.
I forget. Am I allowed to have 3?
Although I think I'm going to say 3 is the cap.
I keep forgetting I have them because it doesn't have the ampersand that it usually does whenever you just have 1. It's just a number there, so I don't ever look at it.
Okay, so you cast your spell at him, and your spell finds no purchase. It's almost like he's not there. He's not a legitimate target to be targeted. However, you're casting it for 3 creatures, so you could technically cast on Aelin if you wish.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and make it on Aelin too then.
Okay. She needs to make charisma saving throw. I'm just gonna warn you straight off that her charisma is pretty
It's
fucking
whenever
high.
she attacks.
No, it's if she fails, she gets Bane on her. That's how it's worded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Bane does not affect her. Like her will of personality is too strong to be affected by your spell. You still, however, have movement and bonus action.
She's actually going to stay there. And no, she would not have casted Bane if she's concentrating on the dagger. Because they're both concentration. I didn't realize it was concentration.
I'm a generous DM. I'll allow you to retcon it. So what would you like to do with your action?
Man, most of my spells are concentration. That's not fair. So, can he hear us through this bubble?
Apparently, he can't speak through this bubble, so you suspect that he can't hear you through the bubble either.
She'll at this point cast this to Arthur, letting him know that there's daggers. There's a cloud of daggers in the middle at the funnel.
So Thalia points her finger at you, and inside your head you hear her voice go, "Doo doo doo. This is a public service announcement." Just kidding. There are daggers in the middle of the whirlpool. No, that's not what happens.
I
Milo,
like that. I want that to happen.
Sure. Aelin is going to try and claw at you some more, apparently trying to murder you, but who knew that she was this vindictive? But no, your AC is just ridiculously high, and I'm rolling like atrociously today. So, Milo, it is now your turn.
All right, I'm gonna fire at the alien creature.
Okay, she's partially obscured by a sphere of darkness, but you can still see her.
Well, yeah, I'll still go for it.
Quick question, Kev. Is this the Autoluke's Resilient Sphere spell?
Yes, it appears to be.
Because that is concentration.
Are you sure? It doesn't say so.
I was pretty sure it was, but
No, it just says duration up to a minute. Doesn't say concentration. At least that's what it says in the SRD. I'll look it up in the actual book.
Doubt that hits. Use the rest of my movement to go over
Yeah,
there.
a 13 wouldn't hit regardless of... Why is my player's handbook completely blank?
That's what mine was doing too.
So all your guys' player handbooks are blacked out as well?
I used the Outlook to use it, and yeah.
Mine's a hard copy, so I
I
can't.
got a hard copy too, but I also use a PDF, but all of them are black out. I don't know why. I thought it was just only me.
Yeah, it says concentration up to a minute in the PHP.
Okay, if that's the case, then the darkness is gone. Give me one. Resilience 3. Yeah, I don't know why if you look it up in this, it just says in the the compendium. It just says 1 minute. It doesn't say concentration.
You have to scroll down to the very bottom, and it says concentration. Yes.
I totally missed that. I don't like the way they've parsed
Me neither.
spells. Yeah. Okay. So the darkness is gone. So, but regardless of darkness or not, that shot missed. It smashed into. It just plopped into the water and didn't seem to do very appreciable effect. Rest of your movement, you get behind the wall. It is now her turn. She needs to make a strength saving throw to resist being swept away from the water. I can tell it's a low roll. She does get swept away from the water. Luckily, she is coming up behind. No, actually, no. She's in this square. So she's actually going to use her action and most of her movement to swim out of the location of the whirlpool.
Did
Well,
she
I'm
pass through the daggers or no?
No. Well, yeah, sure. Technically, she did. So roll me that damage. Thalia?
Sorry,
I
had to
suppose I'll
get to
scroll
it.
up.
It's 12.
Okay. 12 slashing damage. The daggers don't... Actually, no, they're magical daggers. Never mind. Yeah, you guys can see her now. After going through that cloud of daggers, she doesn't look too hot. She looks like she's like openly wounds all over the place, cuts, gashes in her armor. I mean, she was already looking pretty wrecked beforehand when you guys saw her in the cage, but now she just looks like destroyed. She's gonna get up to Arthur though, but that's her turn. Arthur, it is now your turn.
All right. Is the water above my head yet? I mean, below my head yet?
No. Sure. The water is below your head. Sure. It's like just at your shoulders, basically.
Okay. Then I'm going to whisper myself some words of guidance, which is going to give me 1 next time I do it, and just to sort of hold on to him. And that'll be all.
I'd like you to roll me a strength saving throw to resist being carried away by the water. Okay. I'm gonna roll one high or low.
Hi.
There you go. Yeah, you just managed to. Actually, I will give you a choice. No, that's unfair. That's unfair. You just managed to, like, you feel on the brink, like your foot slips. Your foot. In fact, I think you probably get swept back like 1 square, carrying the sphere with. Your foot slips and you kind of like scrabble to get your toes, your booted nail into any crevice or any blockage that you can interpose yourself against. And after sliding about 5 foot, you manage to wedge your feet into something that you can't quite see in the water, and manage to halt your slide. And it is now Obi's turn.
How much of is she sticking out of the water?
Aelin?
Yeah, is her head sticking out?
About shoulder up.
Is it going to give her a partial cover if I just start shooting at her head?
I'd say probably like half cover.
Yeah, fuck it. Both shots. no good. And then I reload. Grumble, grumble.
All right. I'm gonna. Man, I didn't expect someone to try and grab onto his sphere. Again, he's going to try and run up the side of the sphere and try and dislodge you or hold on it. So, acrobatics versus his athletics, and you get a +1. Sorry, no, his acrobatics versus your athletics, and you get a +1.
I'm going to use an inspiration, boy.
Okay. I feel so bad for this.
He literally just chucks the sphere at me and Thalia.
No. You manage to, again, just hold his sphere in place so that when he goes to run, he kind of just slips. You know, the classic, like, rat falling over in a exercise wheel where it just starts going around and around in the exercise wheel. And then he, like, looks at you with, like, an embarrassed, like, glare, Arthur. And I feel so cheap for doing this, but he's actually going to do this. He's actually going to reach up and just bring his arm down in a slashing gesture, and the bubble pops as if he's just dispelling it. And he awkwardly tries to like wiggle, basically out of your range, while he shouts at Aelin to get him. I'm going to allow you a grapple check. So athletics versus his acrobatics or athletics.
Am I able to use another inspiration?
Sure, you are. Yeah, so 18. So you managed to grab onto his foot as he kind of like surges towards the funnel. You haul him short, just short of like going over the lip, and his face is kind of in the dagger. And he takes 11 slashing damage. And you're kind of just like grabbing him by the foot. Oh, 10 slashing damage. Well, I'll take that. At the end of his turn, he shouts at Aelin as he's holding on he shouts at you, release me. Release me at once! And then he points at you and then turns towards Aelin and says, make him release me! And then kill him!
That's hilarious.
In which case, she is going to try and pry your grip loose by... pry your grip loose by rolling athletics against you. You can roll athletics. No, this would just be athletics. This wouldn't be acrobatics. Would you like to use your last inspiration?
Probably, yeah. I gotta hold on to him at least for them to get three attacks off on him.
Well, I rolled super low, but you said that you were using inspiration, so
It's a good thing I did.
it's a good thing you did. So yeah, as much as she tries to pry at your hand, she can't get it loose. She's gonna follow the second part of her order and use her second multi-attack to try and rake you across the throat.
This is fine.
Which misses. Because you're ridiculous. You're kind of just battering her aside with his shield while she's attempting to rake you. Thalia, it is now your turn.
Also, kill him!
Why not? She will, once again using her trusty crossbow, will try and hit him. Can I even see him?
Not. He's like at the bottom of the bowl, kind of half hanging into whatever precipice that is draining into, and Arthur is kind of like in a half seated, half crouched down position, shield to one side, holding off Aelin while his left hand is kind of like clasping this guy by like an ankle. So no, you can't really see him. You can see Aelin though. I would say no. I would say you can see him, but he has like 3/4 cover, just being submerged in the water.
Huh. God, what do I want to do? You know what? Why not? Should be like, I can't really do much, but, here. To Arthur.
You have more than one of those, by the way. You have up to your charisma modifier in those.
Okay.
Yeah, so Arthur, you feel inspired. That's only a bonus action, though. What do you want to do with your action?
You know, no, that's concentration, never mind. Most of her spells are concentration. And she really doesn't want to hurt Aelin. You know what? She'll shout at Aelin. Aelin, why are you doing this? Stop.
Roll me a persuasion check. Very nice. I'm going to roll a wisdom saving throw. No, sorry, charisma saving throw. That's a check. This is a saving throw. Okay. You see Aelin's movement clawing at Arthur's shield. She stops and she turns to look at you. Kind of like, only her head turns. So she's kind of looking over her shoulder. And for a momentary moment, you see a confused expression upon her face. And that's the rest of your turn. She remains in this confused expression and does not take a legendary action. So Milo, it's your turn.
Alright, I cannot see the butcher.
He's like 3/4 cover. He's kind of prone.
There's no way I'm gonna hit him there.
And there's this like fast flowing rapids of blood draining from that room into this room.
I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna dash down here.
Okay. You run in the opposite direction.
It's going. Oh, there's more. Maybe I misunderstood you. There's more coming, draining from this one.
Yes.
Oh,
This room is basically draining into that room. And then it's going down the whirlpool into whatever crevice it's going to.
my bad. I misunderstood that. I will go back where I was. And I'm gonna take a shot at even though he's got 3/4 cover, I'm gonna take a shot anyway. As soon as it comes up. Sorry, taking forever to load.
No worries.
On Aelin?
No, I was since Aelin seems to have been moved by your words, I'm not aiming at her. I was aiming at the butcher and missed.
Yeah, unfortunately, Milo's not exactly the crack shot in the world, and it's even by a crack shot, it would be a difficult shot. But yeah, you just fire into the water, and there's just a murker swoosh that sends like brackish water flying in which direction. Aelin is not going to do anything. She remains looking at Thalia with a confused expression upon her face. Arthur, it is now your turn.
All right. Well, that was a terrible round. I being a warcaster, I don't need hands, so I'm going to try to Sacred Flame him.
Okay. Wow. And I'm going to give him disadvantage on this because he's kind of prone, kind of grappled, and kind of in an awkward position. And give him disadvantage. Which he still managed to succeed, so he doesn't. He manages to like twist out of the way of your Sacred Flames somehow. And your Sacred Flame falls largely into the crevice and vanishes. Are you doing anything else? And I would like for you to roll me a strength save. Oh god. High or low?
Low.
Alright. So you manage not to be swept into the crevice, but you do, however, slip enough so that you get dragged right to the edge. You're now kind of like on your side, on your knees, kind of like back splayed against the ground as this water rushes past your chin, over your chest, down into the crevice. The butcher has gone into the crevice, like he's dangling by his feet, face first, inside the hole. You're straining. Unfortunately for you, your face is in the cloud of daggers. So, would you like? Would Thalia like to roll some damage? Right. So you take 8 slashing damage. You get a clean shave. And then it is Obadiah's turn.
Well, this is going to hell in the handbag. So I'm going to say, fuck it. Drop my pistol like over here, reach into the bag of holding and grab the 300 foot of silken rope. And depending if I can, tie it around this thing, the post, and then jump into the water after Arthur.
Okay, fantastic. I'll take your tying off as an action, but you can definitely jump in with the silken rope.
And
Where do you want to move to?
I want to move to here, and if I gotta take cloud damage, whatever. But I'm gonna yell to.
No, not yet.
I'm gonna yell to Arthur. Tie him up with the rope. Don't let him get away.
I don't have hands.
Well, then I will try to tie him up when it's my next turn.
Okay.
Then I'll say don't drop him. I'm gonna tie him up.
Roll me a strength saving throw with advantage.
Me or him?
Strength saving throw. Yes. I'm so strong.
You jump in, and almost immediately, the current was much faster than you were expecting. Your leg gets swept out from underneath you, and I'll give you a choice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose grasp of the rope and manage to anchor yourself in place from going over the edge into the crevice, or you can keep hold of the rope and go over into the crevice and past the butcher. But yes, you do take the cloud of daggers damage. Which, Thalia, do you want to roll again, or should you just take the 8?
I'll just take the 8,
Okay.
I guess. Well, seeing I have no idea what the fuck's down there, except a whole heap and a lot of blood, I'll just anchor myself and maybe grab the rope next time. Maybe he can grab it. I don't know. So the rope's floating.
So the rope. So you lose grasp of the rope. You anchor. You kind of like splay out your hands and kind of catch yourself on the lip. The end of the rope goes spooling into the crevice, like 250 feet of it.
It's 300.
Yeah, but like part of it is tied off. So like 270 feet of it.
Gotcha.
and your head kind of goes over the side a little bit. Roll me a perception check. Okay. You can tell that this crevice is deep.
Yep.
Like
This is,
by the sounds of the water slashing down and just a torrent of water flowing in, and just like the echoing sound of water draining through, you can tell that this thing is probably at least 100 feet deep. It probably goes straight to the undercroft. And it is now Whitehole's turn.
Is he still in the daggers?
Yes, he is still in daggers. Roll me the damage check for the daggers. He looks hurt, by the way. He looks extremely hurt. He grimaces and grins up at you all. And then kind of dangling by his feet, he says, if you won't let me go.
Isn't his head completely underwater?
No, he's dangling upside down like the water. Yeah, I mean, okay, so let me clarify this. Instead of saying if you don't let me, he's like if you don't let me. That's water's periodically hitting his face. But he says something about taking you with him, and he's going to reach up. He's going to shield his mouth for some somatic components, and he's going to shout a word. It occurs to you you've heard him say this word before. Back in the laboratory of his that you guys interrupted. Actually, no, it's from him. It's from him. You know what? I think this still works. Like even thematically and even like utilitarian, like the picture, not utilitarian, the way that this is worded and the scene that's going on, this still works. He points up at you, and he shouts the word that he shouted just before that. There was that massive gust of wind that was blocking you off in the corridor, Obadiah. And I would like for both of you to roll a strength saving throw as he aims this thing pretty much straight up at you guys.
well, that was way better than I expected.
Yeah, so you guys are both fine at this gale of wind, almost partially inverting the drain for a moment as like this fountain of blood just like flies up and starts smashing into the ceiling. You guys get like all kinds of disgusting ichor and blood water up your nose and into your mouth if they were open, but you don't manage to get blown 15 feet up into the ceiling. He shouts something incoherent that you guys have no idea what he said.
Sounds something like wing.
Whatever confusion that had come over Aelin seemed to disperse at the end of his order, at the end of his turn. He turns. I'll ask you guys both. One can be high, one can be low. I'll let you guys decide which is which.
I will let Juggy pick first because he's been picking well.
Low and then high.
That's
So
what
if it's just me, I'll say low.
Okay, so low. So Obadiah, you are high.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's gonna go for you, Obadiah. She attempts to claw you in your ass as you're braced against the brim with your head kind of sticking over the edge. Oh god! Oh god!
Sweet crackers. That hits.
Are you still conscious?
Yeah.
Good. Because being unconscious and then falling 100 and something feet.
Yeah, I'd be rolling a new character.
That hit would, if you would have targeted Arthur, it would have hit.
Failure.
Okay, so once again, she's going to yell at Aelin. You really don't have to do this. You're not like this. Come back.
Alright, roll a persuasion check.
Ah.
Yeah, whether it's you think that you're getting through to her, but just the sound of like this gale force wind slamming up into the ceiling, causing like all the water that's flushing down towards the funnel to get pushed up into to slam into the ceiling. This torrential sound of just like water slamming into the ceiling and cascading back down just drowns out whatever you tried to say to her. Like she doesn't appear to have heard it at all.
I'm wondering if I can't start using performance for this to put my magic behind my voice.
Ah. Do you have command?
No.
Alright, what would you like to do with your action?
Let me look at the spell. Nope, she's not going to do it because once again it's a concentration spell. So she's doing her best to concentrate on Aelin. Is the water low enough that she can see the butcher?
Definitely not at this point. Like there's just like I said, there's a geyser of blood water just fountaining up to the ceiling. Like he's completely like him, him, Arthur, and Obadiah are completely obscure.
Okay. Well then that's all she'll do is she's trying to convince Aelin to stop.
Okay, Milo.
Alright, completely obscured. I can't see any of them at all.
From your angle, you can't even see Aelin.
Let me move up closer. Is it only Aelin and Thalia I can see?
You can see Aelin and Thalia from your angle, yeah.
The persuasion seems not to have worked, so let me try something else.
Okay, you fire. How many rounds in the chamber do you? Oh yeah, you're reloading every turn, aren't you? You're using a bonus action to reload, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you fire your shot. Almost with preternatural speed. Maybe on purpose, maybe not. Aelin just like kind of leans out of the way of your shot, and it flies and smashes into the stonework behind her. Chip taking a chunk out of this pedestal.
Alright, that's it.
Aelin is going to take an additional swipe. High or low, Obadiah? I'll let you choose this time.
Low, because if it's high, I will die. That didn't make any sense, but yeah. Oh, bollocks.
No, you said low, so it's
No,
Arthur, right?
If he calls the right one, I attack someone else. Alright. I'm a generous DM. So I'm hoping this...
That'll hit.
Are you unconscious?
I am conscious.
Arthur, I will give you a choice as your reaction. You can let go of Rude Man, Mick Bag of Wind, and try and make a grab for Obadiah. Or you can keep hold of Rude Man, Mick Bag of Wind, and let Obadiah's unconscious form fall directly into the chasm.
Keep in mind that he's killing innocent people, and I knew what I signed up for.
Is there anything in any of the credos for the religious people that that you should save more lives over one life?
So there's like a different philosophy regarding that kind of thing. So the Eosians, the sun side of the order, thinks that you should attend to the task at hand. So basically, like you should influence what you can influence that's immediately in front of you, and like leave the projections in the long term to when you have like more of a basically like they believe in more of the heat of the moment kind of thing, whereas the Selene side is more of the cerebral analytic side. So it's entirely up to you. Like both schools of thought are equally valid.
Also, keep in mind that Obi's been wanting to go to the Underdark anyway.
It's not the manner in which I wanted to, but she's not wrong.
Oh man, this is. Well, you guys do have a rope. If this thing isn't more than 300 foot deep, you could go down after him.
It's possible, but
But you know, you could be going down after a corpse.
Yeah. I think he's just gonna swear and then hang on.
Okay. Okay. So Obadiah's unconscious form vanishes over the precipice. And I will let you know what happens, Obadiah.
okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I will be back in a bit.
I'm gonna make a Christmas saving throw.
I thought you said Christmas saving throw.
That's what
Charisma
I heard
saving
too.
throw. Aelin appears after she claws Obadiah across the ass, and he disappears over the edge. She withdraws back, and since you're looking straight at her, Thalia, and Milo, you're looking straight at her as well, you see a momentary, like just a momentary, it's like a split second, a look of like almost like shock or horror come before her eyes. But then she kind of like the expression gets replaced by, you know, again that savage feral mask, and she turns towards Arthur Duncan and attempts to attack him. I keep clicking the wrong thing. 24 does hit, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so for 9 bludgeoning damage, and then for her additional action, she's going to, like her super fast preternatural action, she's going to lash out at your wrist and attempt to wrestle your grip from his ankle. That's not very hard.
Do I need to do a thing too?
Yeah, you need to roll an opposed athletics check. Yeah, you're fine. You remain hold of the grimacing, kind of muttering a prayer, probably, I would imagine. It is that coincidentally now your turn.
All right. I'm gonna try to sacred flame him. Gosh, that's so low. Also, do I need to take damage for knives in my face?
Yeah, you need to take damage from knives in your face, and so does he on his turn. And his X save is made at advantage, but that was a check. Although it's the same thing, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, he makes it. He managed to avoid your sacred flames. You're not sure if he's trying to do it intentionally, or it's just like the buffeting and the throwing around is helping him to avoid whatever you're doing.
Then I'm going
However, you need to make a strength saving throw because you're in the gust of wind on the start of your turn.
to... Okay.
I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, you're fine.
And
You
then
managed
I'm
to
going
resist.
to second level Cure Wounds orb myself.
Okay.
If I would click on the right thing.
So you heal for 15 damage.
And that's all I wrote.
Obadiah, it is technically your turn. I will let you roll this. Roll me a 1d100. Higher is better.
Wait, that's not right. I'm sorry.
Actually, I think it is.
I think it is.
Because you rolled D100, so it is right. You rolled 100.
Okay. I will let you know what happens, Obadiah.
Okay.
But suffice to say, as I said, higher is better.
Yeah, well, I can't get higher than 100.
Okay. It is now his turn.
What?
He's going to continue channeling his spell.
Yeah.
However,
Take the daggers.
yeah, he does take the damage. Roll me another dagger attack.
If I would click the right thing, that'd be really amazing. God dang it.
Yeah, so it's a pity. He is. God, I don't really want to do this because this is such a shitty thing to do. But I'll let you know that he's on single digit HP. And he's not really looking like he's going to be able to get out of this. Like, he realizes this now. And he still has a single level 3 spell slot.
Doesn't he need to make a... Never mind, it probably doesn't matter. I was going to say concentration for Gust of Wind for the
Yeah,
past couple
you're
turns.
right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But he's probably going to Misty Step or something away.
Yeah, so Gust of Wind is gone. So technically, you didn't even have to make that throw. And you don't have Counterspell, do you? Milo?
Nope, I do not.
Man, I really don't want to do this, but this is what he would do. Alright, so realizing that his gig is kind of up, almost like with a manic expression, he's going to point his finger up at you, where you leaning over the edge, Arthur, grasping his ankle. And he does a complicated gesture with both of his hands, kind of almost like the Kung Fu Kid, whatever it's that movie was called, where it's like wax on, wax off kind of gesture.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, Karate Kid. And then
Yeah,
like
he was talking.
between his hands as he's doing this gesture builds a speck of light, and then he balls it up in one of his hands and throws it at you. I need you to make a dex save.
Don't forget you have Bardic Inspiration.
Won't help.
So you take 26 fire damage, and he needs to roll a dex save as well. And so does Ayla. But he doesn't need to make a dex save because he's quote unquote dead.
I know the feeling.
And Aylin rolls a natural 1 as well, so she takes the full brunt of the explosion also. So yeah, himself, Arthur, there's a giant explosion as this fountain of water just like erupts outwards and ends. The fountain of water starts slashing down a huge fountain, like a dome of gas, steam, fire, debris goes flying which direction, splattering Thalia and Milo with just a torrential downpour. And when you look up, when you look in, as the water fills back in, Arthur and the butcher are gone. Aylin looks like she's being pushed backwards and she's got her back against the pedestal. Arthur, I would like you to roll me a 1d100. Again, higher is better. And also, Obadiah, I forgot. You need to roll a death saving throw. If you have inspiration, now's the best time to... Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. They just really want you to die. Oh, God. Oh, God. Thalia, it's your turn. Actually, no. Before we do that, Arthur, you need to roll me a 1d4. No, 1d3. 1d4 minus 1, sorry. Okay. You have 2 failed death saves, and I'll explain why. Thalia, it is now your turn. By the way, the water is now down to about like a foot and a half. There's still a large quantity of water rushing into the room, but it's no longer spiraling. It's just rushing straight from this room and going over the edge.
Okay, Thalia is going to drop her spell. Her concentration spell.
Oh, I should bring up one more thing. As Aylin recovers from her staggered pose against the pedestal, she glances down at where the hole where Arthur and Obadiah used to be, and then she looks back up towards Milo and Thalia, and then she, like, her hostile, feral expression focuses on you two. That's your turn. Yeah.
God. So, she will look at Aylin, and, she's actually going to, she can't really see that well at the moment, so she'll cast her dancing lights over near her.
All right. I think
Let's
that's your...
Let's pretend that there's 4 of them.
Sure. But, you still can try and persuade her.
Yeah, that's what she's going to do. She just needed some light.
Okay.
And she's actually going to use her voice, so it's going to be performance. Yeah. Performance, yeah. You really don't have to do this. You're not like this. You don't have to choose this. God dang it.
Yeah. Your words. You can definitely see that she is actively, like, it's obvious that she's actively resisting whatever influence, whatever spell or whatever control that the butcher had over her. Despite the fact that he's apparently, I mean, you're pretty sure he's dead because when you last saw him, he looked pretty wrecked, and to survive that fireball would be pretty amazing.
She's gonna use her bonus action. She use her bonus action to wrap herself around the rope that's dangling?
Sure, I'll allow you to do that. It wouldn't be like a necessarily super tight wrap, but you kind of just like pull it up a little bit and loop it around yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Milo, it is now your turn.
So I saw 2 of my friends go, and the butcher go through the the edge of the drain or the hole in the ground.
Correct.
How deep is this? I think it was like 6 or 8 feet deep when it was filled.
It was probably just over 6 feet, like 7 feet or 8 feet. But like it goes down like there's like a retaining wall that goes down like 3 feet, and then it starts to curve inwards like the bottom of a bowl.
And I would have saw Obi would have taken that hit, and he was unconscious when he went down, I believe.
Yeah, he got slashed across the ass, and then he kind of just went limp and slipped over the edge.
That's horrible. I'm gonna try something. He has his pistol in hand, and hold on one second. I'm gonna move over here. Is the current of blood look strong enough to, or red liquid look strong enough to knock me off my feet or anything like that?
Not unless you step into the path of the flow coming from the other room. So these tiles.
All right, I'm gonna move this way. I'm gonna climb down into the basin. And I'm gonna fire a shot at Alan.
That definitely hits. Are you using silvered ammunition, by the way?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you shoot her directly in the chest. She staggers a little bit, and she has like a... No, she still has a feral expression. She doesn't have the shocked expression. But she staggers a little bit, and she almost goes down to one knee. She looks pretty badly injured. You step up to the edge of the precipice. Do you glance down? Like, do you lean over the edge and kind of look down?
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay, roll me a perception check. All right. There's a lot of water rushing past, and it's kind of difficult to tell. But you can kind of surmise that the rope is taut. Whether it's because it's being pulled by the amount of water that's rushing down, or maybe something's caught on it, you can't quite tell.
Let's see Arthur.
No, you do not see Arthur anywhere, and the precipice goes down pretty much as far as your vision can see.
All right, that's it.
It is now Aylin's turn. I'm gonna make her roll charisma saving throw. Oh, that's not very good. You know, ironically enough, it's actually funny. You guys could, like, if someone had bless, one of you could bless her, and she'd have 1d4 on these saving throws. She is going to try and rip your face off, Sir Noble Gnome. Do those hit?
Yep, they both hit.
So you take 18 bludgeoning damage, or slashing bludgeoning damage, whatever. Actually, you take 12, because with the second one, she reaches out and grabs you by... She actually reaches out and grabs you by your forehead. You know the classic, when little kids fight their big brothers, they do that flailing thing, and the big brother just reaches out and puts their hand on their forehead. She does that, except the grip is extra tight. You suspect that if she wanted to, she could probably lift you off your feet by the grip that she has on your forehead.
Got ya.
It is now Arthur's turn. Could you make me a death saving throw? So you're at 1 success. Obadiah, I would like you to make me a death saving throw. God.
That's hilarious.
I'll explain to you what you wake up to, Obadiah. You wake up groggily. First, you think someone's pouring water on you, but then you realize the water tastes absolutely fucking foul. It tastes disgusting, and you think momentarily that Marmaduke might be like taking a wee on you,
Oh,
but then
go
you kind
away,
of like
mutt.
you kind of sputter and kind of open your eyes, and you realize that the water that's rushing past you is tinged this viscous red. And like in a flash, you remember your current circumstance. You glance about and you realize you're hanging upside down, and your foot appears to have been caught in the rope that you had thrown into the pond. You glance up past your foot, and you can dimly see the faint outlines of kind of two figures on the precipice on the edge of the pit. One short, one tall. This tall one appears to have their hand upon the short one's forehead. You're about 60 feet down.
Can I see the bottom?
You cannot see the bottom. Not with your human vision.
Balls. So I'm just dangling in the dark. I've had this nightmare. And he's a big fat guy. He's not good at climbing. Oh, man. Fuck it. I am going to try to climb up the rope and...
Dude, he rolled a natural 100. He rolled a natural 100 out of a 100 percentile die, and then he rolls a natural 20 for a death save. What the hell is going on?
Well, first I rolled a nat 1 on my first death saving throw.
Yeah, this is true.
So I don't think I have any inspiration or anything, and he's not a godly man. So he's just gonna say fuck it. No one's gonna do this but me, and start trying to climb his way up. All
All right, you have athletics check with advantage.
Thank God for advantage.
Yeah, you make your way up about like 30 feet using your full movement and dashing, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're now about 30 feet from the precipice. It is now his turn.
Seriously?
You notice an object, by the way, as you're climbing, that was wedged between the inside of your coat and your trousers. Do you look like the object is about the size of like a loaf of bread, possibly a little bit larger.
I would take a glance at it.
It appears to be a foot.
Oh, well, I don't know whose foot it is, but I'm going to just stick it in the bag of the satchel holding.
Okay. Thalia, it's your turn.
Thalia's going to hop into the water while carefully making sure the rope is not exactly loose on her, but still not exactly bindingly tight. And she's going to go up right up to Aelin and look her in the eyes and say, "Stop, this is not who you are."
All right. At this point, I think I'm going to give you advantage on your persuasion or performance check. Okay. Whether by the death of the whatever magical effect she's under, or by your persuasive attempts, you see the feral expression kind of like lapse from her face, and for a moment she looks almost like a look of pain, not physical pain, but like emotional pain. come over, and she glances over at Milo, glances down at the hole, and then back at you. And then she whispers in a low tone, like, I couldn't stop. That wasn't what I wanted.
We know.
Can I yell up, little help?
Oops.
I'm gonna for now I'm gonna keep us in combat, in turn order, but for the moment you guys are out of combat. So technically it's Milo up next, but that's what she says to you as part of your turn, Thalia. Milo, what are you doing?
So he came 30 feet up. Do I see?
Oh, by the way, she releases your forehead. She no longer has your forehead.
She's not massaging my temples anymore.
No.
I look in the hole. Do I see my friends?
You see Obadiah clearly. He's kind of like grunting and climbing up the.
A lot of cussing.
Yeah, and a lot of cussing. And he appears to be sans. He appears to be sans his. Oh no, his rifle's still back up there, but he appears to be sans his pistol.
Yeah.
Well, I put the pistol in the bag.
Oh yeah,
before.
you put your pistol in the bag, so your hand axe is gone.
I never had a hand axe.
What were you using then before?
I
Nothing.
didn't. I just grabbed the rope and I was going to try to tie.
Yeah. Okay, so you still have your rifle and your handgun. What a save!
He kept it all. Milo shouts down, Where is Arthur?
He's not there with you.
He fell after you.
I don't remember falling. I honestly don't even know how I got here. Little help?
But I saw him fall into the hole. I saw Arthur fall, right?
Yes, you did. You saw the explosion, and then when the explosion cleared, neither three of them were there. Only Aelin was kind of leaning against the pedestal.
Can Milo ask Obadiah one more thing?
Sure.
How deep is it?
I would love to answer your fucking questions when I'm not dangling for my life.
Milo jumps into the hole.
Oops. Without grabbing the rope first?
No, he has the cloak, right?
Yeah, he has his squirrel suit.
All right. You quickly fall past Obadiah, even with the squirrel suit. I will leave that for a moment because it'll take you a little bit to get to the bottom. Aelin is kind of clutching for her head. And then she says, she looks up for a moment. She seems almost like she has a look of sorrow upon her face. And then she turns to look at you, Thalia, and she kind of has I don't know, like an expression almost like she's rolling insight check on you essentially for whatever reason. She's examining you with meticulous precision, like your facial features, your expression, your demeanor. And I'm gonna roll 1d100 for reasons. I will allow you, however, to say high or low.
Low.
Okay.
What did I win?
A foot to get me out of this fucking hole.
She asks you, Thalia, what happened?
You were. What do you remember?
She says to you, not much. The cage fell into the water, and then it was just images of violence.
That's pretty much it. Only he was controlling you.
Oh, by the way, I should mention this fact. Her fangs is still out, like still 2 inches. It's just she no longer has like the, and her hands are still rakish claws. Um, and then she glances, she like brings up her hand, like looking at them, and she glances down at them, and then she looks back up at you, and then she says with like a, she brings up a, she brings up her left hand and kind of like clutches her hair, kind of like pulling at it, almost like I don't know what the expression would be called. She clutches her hair as if like in extreme frustration, and then she says to you, she says to you, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Almost like begging you in this tone.
It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, she kind of shakes. She's shaking her head as if she's not. What you saying that it's not her fault. It doesn't bring her any solace. And she starts to like, she almost like starts to sob, and she's like crying like these tears of blood that's just like coming from her eyes.
If it makes you feel any better, the guy that did it to you got his face hacked off.
She shakes her head and she says, No, that's just blood magics. And she kind of she gives like a, her sob gives way to like a throatful sigh, like as if she's resigned herself to something, and she is going to she's going to attempt to try and grapple you. So in which case you can make an acrobatics or an athletics check. Nice. Actually, no. This would be an attack. This wouldn't be a grapple. So never mind. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
All right. So instead of doing damage to you, she grabs you by the throat, and then she twists and throws you into the hole. And then, Obadiah, I will allow you a dexterity saving throw to attempt to try and catch. As you nearly climb up to the top. Sorry, what was that?
I still have the rope around me.
Yes, you do. So you only fall partially into the hole. Good point. So, Obadiah, as you're climbing up a little bit, there's something happens with the rope, and you see like Thalia get kind of dropped over the edge. She doesn't fall very far. She falls towards you like 5 feet probably, and then like yank herself taut on the rope as the rope cinching shut like kind of tightens around her waist. She tumbles for a moment as the rope almost like twists her loose, but she manages to reach up and grab the rope. And you've almost reached the top, by the way. You're like 5 foot from the top, Obadiah. And then you guys, much to your horror, you guys feel the rope go slack.
Shit. Can I reach for the edge?
Sure, you can reach for the edge. I'll allow you a dex saving throw. Okay. You managed to catch onto the edge. Actually, no. You managed to catch onto the edge. I'll allow you a dex saving throw at disadvantage to try and catch Thalia as she tumbles past. Okay, so with your right hand, you manage to catch onto the ledge, holding onto the tip. With your left hand, you manage to snag Thalia by the belt as she goes tumbling past, the rope trailing around her and then flapping loose as the severed end from the top falls down into the precipice. Aelin walks over and she looks down at you, and she looks still in the vampiric like fangs, kind of like reddish hued eyes, although not like glowing red, and she has a look of like profound sorrow or upset upon her face, and she just says to you, "I'm sorry, you've seen too much." And she puts her foot down on your hand and just.
Before she does that, can I say, please don't do this?
Yes, you can. Roll me a persuasion.
Mine are amazing.
Don't say that.
I have one persuasion. I wasn't going to make that roll.
She looks like a wreck, by the way. Like she's kind of like sobbing, and she's got like a sorrowful expression, and she's got like blood running down from her eyes. But regardless, she puts her foot down on your, all the time, kind of almost like shouting or sobbing, I'm sorry, all over and over again. As she puts her foot down on your hand and just kind of like, like, what's that term called? It's like putting out a cigarette. And I think, and then like as your hand comes loose and you fall, clutching onto Thalia, I think that's where we'll end the session.
Oh, that's
And
mean.
We'll pick it up next time.
I hope I die.
Oh no! We should cover Milo first. Milo, in your squirrel suit, you go down.
Yes.
When you finally reach the bottom, you land with a splash in some sort of cavernous space. It's difficult to tell the dimensions of the cavernous space, but the blood draining down here has turned whatever water source that covered the bottom of this cavernous space. This almost lake-like crevasse. It is tinged at hue in this viscous fluid. Beside you, to your east, about 30 feet away, floats the dead body of the butcher, sans leg, and
All right.
blackened, burned, blasted. To the north of you, about 20 or 30 feet away, you can see a person wearing metallic armor, slumped unconscious against what appears to look like. What's the bottom section of, like, the top section is called a stalagmite.
Stalactite.
Stalactite, yeah. So, partially submerged stalactite. He's kind of like washed up against it, plainly unconscious, not moving.
Do I have to wade through this water to get to him?
No, you can kind of just swim through it. It's so deep that you can't. Your little 3 foot, 4 foot feet can't touch the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I'll swim over to him.
Okay, you swim over to him. He's appears to be still alive, but he is like extreme. You suspect that like he could perish any moment.
Yeah, I get my AED out and I hook it up and charge it. He's not submerged in water right now, right?
He is partially submerged in the water.
No, I won't do that then. I'll get the my healing thing out. That was, I got one of them and give it to him.
Okay,
Administer
healing
it.
potion.
Don't you have the gun?
Yeah, I have the gun.
Yeah.
I'll use that.
All right. What I seem to recall, you've got like a greater one and a standard one. Which one are you using?
I think the standard one just to get him woken up and stabilize him.
So, Juggy, Arthur, roll me a 2d4 plus 2.
And how long into this do they hear a small sploosh followed by a much louder cannonball?
Pretty much right as he presses down the gun onto his neck and depresses the trigger from behind him, you hear a sploosh, plunk.
The funny thing is the plunks, Thalia.
Hey,
Hey, I wasn't unconscious. I kind of did like I went to jackknife.
Oh. Right. You both need to roll me a 1d100, by the way, to see how many ledges you hit on the way down.
Well, I will be unconscious then.
I thought you said higher the better.
Oh, yep, that's fun.
All right. Arthur, sorry. Obadiah, you need to roll me a 1d4. Thalia, you need to roll me a 1d4 minus 1. All right, so you hit 2 ledges on your way down.
Okay, so I am unconscious. Because I had 1 hit point.
Yeah, taking 17 damage. You hit 1 ledge on your way down. So maybe the plunk was you.
Yeah.
Dealing
If I
with
wasn't
core
jackknifing,
bludgeoning damage.
it was a full out like belly flop.
And that's where we'll pick up next session.
Oh, that's just mean.
He's dying.
On the plus hand, yes, you are unconscious. On the plus hand, you made it to the Undercroft.
Guys, we're going shopping next game. Oh wait, we're all gonna die.
How are we bringing in Zathera now?
We are not.
I
Very
was hoping
carefully.
that she was going to join the session, but she had prior arrangements. Now it's going to be extra complicated. Although now at this point, oh, by the way, that was the successful conclusion of Arc 1. We're now into Arc 2.
How much
Yeah.
XP did we get?
Yeah, XP.
You guys, I think
Level 6, you say?
Man, these sheets aren't loading. You know what? I'm going to parse out the exact. I'm pretty sure it might actually get you guys level 6. The exact amount of XP that you would have got. But let me parse it out first and then tell you how much XP you got.
Oh, son of a bitch! I never made up. My hyena rifle is just chilling.
Nope. It's still chilling up at the top.
At least it's broken.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
So what is 18,000 divided by 4?
6? Nope. 5 something.
You each gain 4,500 XP. You know what? Fuck it. That's cheap. Let's just call it level 6.
Oh,
You guys
take it.
completed the arc. I'll give you a little bit of extra XP for completing the arc. You guys are now all level 6.
Yay.
Unconscious and level 6.
One person is unconscious.
I'm definitely unconscious.
Don't worry, I now have spell points to heal you.
Sweet. I don't even know what I get as a fighter at level 6. I don't know.
Actually, I have my channel divinity, so I could just half heal everybody.
This is true.
The hilarious thing is, I don't think Thalia took that much damage. How much damage did she take?
You know who saved the day is fucking Arthur with his amazing AC.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit,
It
dude.
would have been over quick.
I barely did any damage. I was not hitting. I guess I did my thing by taking out the orbs.
She had like a 45% chance to hit me, and she hit me twice.
Yeah.
Out of, like,
that was just terrible.
30
It's-
attacks.
If she swung at me twice and killed me.
There's like 2 spell points left when we entered that battle.
Oh, by the way, like this fight could have gone 2 different directions, and it would have altered the plot line for Arc 2 quite a significant amount. One was that the Butcher manages to get away, and the other one was you managed to kill the Butcher. So you guys are on path B.
I like the environment with the swirling and the potential to fall and the realization of falling. That was all cool.
I'm super glad Joey was a bro and let me go. I wasn't even mad. I was like, that's what you gotta do. Butcher's gonna kill more people.
As for Aylin's mysterious behavior, why she attacked you after you guys quote unquote rescued her, I'll leave that up to you.
I'm thinking it's because we kill her now kind.
I think it's, yeah, she's always been like that and she's managed to hide it.
No, it's just that she got turned into a vampire and we kill Night Stalkers.
I mean, she could just think that we don't know about it and we'll blab to people.
Could be.
Kev, I'm just gonna raise my hit points accordingly. We're not getting all our spell points and hit points back, right?
No, you're not, but you can add the additional hit points for leveling 6,
Okay.
as
Okay.
well as the spell points that you would get from extra spell slots.
Got it.
I get stuff at level 7, not at 6, so...
I actually really hope you guys enjoyed this session. I was super worried about running it.
It was good.
That was pretty cool. I wish I could have done more. Wasted a few actions, but just every time I try something, like something else would happen or it would become moot the next round.
Yeah, that's the problem with like trying to, well, I guess trying to be clever about certain situations. It sometimes works out, and sometimes like the situation just changes too quickly.
I'm gonna roll for my hit points.
We should have 32
I'll take
spell
that.
points, right?
I'll need to look it up.
It goes up from 27, I think. I gotta look it up and see what it is.
I'll take that 7 instead of a 5.
Sure. Man, rolling hit points is always
Yeah, always be bad.
exciting.
I don't have my book with me. At fighter, at D6, I might get another feat. Have to look up the thing.
Yeah, here we go. Like my thing is now saying like cannot render page.
Fighter level 6 does get another feat or ability score improvement.
My PDF is all blacked out. I can't access it.
I had to go through Firefox to use mine.
So you guys are using it through your browser, not through like Adobe Reader or something?
No, I'm using Sutra PDF or whatever it's called.
I'm using it as Adobe PDF.
Because mine's regular. I wonder if did you guys download the same one?
I think we
Like
might
all
have.
from the same place?
I think so.
Because if well, I don't know. That wouldn't really make sense. I was gonna say if it has to access that website, it could have been shut down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the thing is I downloaded it from the OneDrive.
So yeah, you guys should have 32 spell points, and those of you who are fighters, Obadiah, you should have an additional feat or stat point up.
You said 32?
32, correct.
So Thalia's at 30 then.
Unfortunately for you, Thalia, or Arthur, rather, the orb is gone.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
It
but you
didn't-
can always just make a new one, provided you have some resources and workshop to do so.
Well, she always carries around her satchel it was originally for doing the, what was it? At the pony, the Blue Pony Inn or whatever it was, the tavern.
Yeah.
She had that messenger bag full of note-taking things.
Some of it might need to be dried first, but it would, like it required the first time you made it. It would require you most of the day to make a new one.
Question: is it gone because it's destroyed, or we just don't see it?
Don't see it.
So we could theoretically look for it, yeah?
Yes, you could theoretically find it at some place at the bottom of this crevice lake, of this cavernous lake, rather.
Oh, holy crap. I have to go sharpshooter. That's the best.
Yeah, you can -5 to +10 damage.
I could, well, sharpshooter, or I was thinking lucky, but I'll have to think. Oh, I got a week to think about it.
I would go with sharpshooter.
I'm
if-
thinking about it. Yeah, and he's not lucky at all, which is pretty. That's part of his charm. Is he's just
Unlucky?
he's got pretty shit luck when it comes to like anything. Like, well, actually, you know what? Tonight proves that he isn't because holy shit, I rolled the 100% in the percentile die, and then the nat 1, and then I rolled the nat 20 for the second, my last possibly death saving throw.
That is a good way to get lucky. in
By
a
the way,
way.
Arthur, when you wake, do you use your channel divinity to bring everyone to half HP? How much hit points does that heal?
If I technically leveled up afterward,
I would say you leveled up afterwards.
I can't find it. Oh, there it is.
It's like 5 plus your class for your life cleric level, right?
5
So it's
times
like
clear,
20.
so 25, yeah.
And who would you split it to first? I guess Obadiah.
Yeah, Hoobie's at 0.
Thalia
Where would I-
will take it.
What's your half, Obi?
24.
Before or after?
After.
But before, what was it before?
Or it would be 22.
Okay, so you 3 points remaining. Who's that going to?
Milo doesn't look hurt, does he?
He looks a little injured, but not like
Not below half, though, right?
he doesn't.
Same
No.
with, yeah, same with Thalia. She doesn't look that
Okay.
injured.
Then the last 3 points would go to me.
Okay, so yeah, you guys find yourself in a. I'm just gonna polish this off by describing where you are at the moment, so you guys can think about next time what you're doing. You guys find yourself in a, like I said, a cavernous lake. This lake doesn't appear to have always been filled with water, partially filled with water, because there are stalagmites partially submerged. There's no obvious flow of water, like in any direction. And at initial examination, there's no obvious place like a side tunnel going off in any direction. The cavern itself is in a slight oval shape. It's about 130, 140 feet wide, about like 50 feet long.
What confuses people is I have my maps of the Undercroft with me.
Yeah. And only like 3/4 of it is submerged. There's like a section along the northern side that appears to like slope upwards, becoming like a shelf that's like 5 feet above the water. You guys could probably easily enough like swim over and like get out of the water. So unless you guys object to that, that's what we'll say you end up doing, and we'll pick up the next session with you guys on this little plateau.
Can I use detect magic to see if I can find that globe?
Sure. Could you post up the spell for detect magic? Okay. Ah. 3 feet of wood. Water is not as solid as wood, but it's still a substance. You suspect
It
that
says
you probably could find it with detect magic, but the place is so large you would need to know a general idea where to look. And you would need to do some pearl diving in brackish water that you're not sure what it actually does.
All right.
I leave it up to you guys.
Well, if I'm up, I'm like on the deck or like anything out of water. Like, is there a place I can get completely out of water?
Yeah, like I said, there's a. You know what? Doodle page. That's what it's for, right?
Now it's time for Kev's Doodles.
Well, I'm going to get it out, pull out my tools, and so I have it marked. repair the revolver and dry out anything.
So I said it was like 140
Counter.
something feet wide, cavernous space. Let me increase the width a little.
I'm gonna also cast Find Familiar and a Quipper. I'll make it a fish. Swim through the water and look for it.
That's smart. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In which case, I think it would be simple enough to retrieve it. Your Quipper finds it after probably like half an hour of searching near where the crevice is. It's partially buried just by a bunch of detritus and just gunk.
Are we also taking like a short rest here?
Arthur, I mean, if we're doing stuff and not waiting until next time, Arthur would suggest that Thalia make bubble and we stay in bubble for days. Or a day, 24 hours.
Yeah. She actually has enough spell points to do that. The tiny hut.
That would be amazing.
Can you cast what are they called? Ritual spells?
She technically can.
Because I was gonna say you could do it as a ritual. So, I mean, use the spell points so we're not in immediate danger, and then ritual after that so that it'll sort of save us. Because Arthur wants to stay here to get all of his things back.
I don't know why it's doing this, but it's not letting me keep my tiny hut spell.
Is tiny hut a ritual?
Yeah, it's a ritual.
It actually doesn't say that on the.
It's not let me. It is a ritual. When I go
Oh, yes, it
to
is.
cast it, I can't cast it as a ritual for some reason. But it is in the book that way, and on the sheet here.
Yeah. So sure, you could cast tiny hut and just rest here for like largely the part of like a full 24-hour cycle. By the way, does anyone investigate the corpse of the butcher?
Yes.
Yes.
And with the detect magic, I wanted to see if it has anything magic on it.
Yes, it does have things magic on it.
Seriously, it's not. Hey Kev, see if you can't add tiny hut to my spell page because it keeps taking it away.
Sure. I see why it keeps taking it away. Because you don't have ritual clicked on. See? When you click it on?
Oh.
That's not
Okay.
what I meant to do. Yeah, you don't have longer enabled. That was the problem.
Oh, okay.
So now you have 4 tiny hut.
I'll fix that. That's not a big problem.
Yeah, there we go. You don't have longer turned on. It wasn't the ritual tag issue. Yes, so on his body you find a... how many items would have been knocked loose?
We're wrapping it up, so.
Although your Quipper could probably find it regardless. So yeah, on his body and in around the water, like along the bottom, near where his body is bobbing up and down.
What?
Your Quipper also finds some
No,
additional
we're wrapping
magical
it up.
items stuck at the
Asking
bottom.
questions so we don't have to ask them next
You
time.
find a spell book written in Infernal, which you can't read.
Does this spellbook match the other two?
Yes. Okay, so first you find a spellbook written in Infernal. Second, you find a bag of holding, like a fully legit bag of holding, that when you turn inside out, just like the contents of like a explorer's pack and some other bits and pieces falls out, largely junk. But you also find a lead-lined book. The spell book itself has a, like, the cover isn't leather. You suspect it's either demon skin or human skin. It's a reddish hue, whether it's dye or it's natural, not entirely sure. Also within, on his body, there is a... there is a brooch of shielding. It requires attunement, obviously. There is a chime of opening. There was one more thing that I remember writing down, but for some reason didn't say. I think it was like one of the Warcaster, but let me check that to be sure. Oh, there's an immovable rod, that's right. And then there was something else.
Holy snap. Sorry, I was playing with something here. I went ahead and took sharpshooter.
There is a potion that your I wouldn't even make you roll for it. It's a potion of vitality. Like, for a moment you think it's a potion of healing, but... Is it a rod, or is it... I can't find it.
The immovable rod or what?
No, like...
What's it supposed to do, or do you not want us to know that?
It is supposed to give you the holder. I think it's like +1 to spell attacks or something.
It's not Pact Keeper, is it?
I don't think so, because he's not a warlock.
Okay.
It's a +1 Wand of the War Mage.
Nope.
I'd ask, since I don't know who's going to carry the other bag of holding, if Arthur's going to, if he wants the rest of his stuff out of the satchel. If not, I have no problem holding it.
Additionally, you find on his person a seal. So it's a small circular disc, 3 inches across, hanging on the end of a chain. It's slightly embossed. It's flattened on one end, with the embossed, like its carvings are embossed so that it can be used as a stamp. And on it, it like is a symbol you guys don't recognize, except for Arthur. Arthur, you recognize the symbol.
One of my 12.
Yes, it is one of the 12 symbols upon... No, actually, no. It's not one of your 12 symbols. I completely fucking do. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. Yes, it is one of the 12. I was thinking of someone else. Sorry. So on the body of the butcher, you find an embossed seal worn across at the center of his chest on a like a brass or bronze necklace. One of the symbols, which none of you recognize except Arthur, who recognizes it as one of his entangled medallions. It is the symbol of a... I think you've seen... I think I've actually told you guys the symbol, right? I forgot where I said it. Yeah, there's an obelisk wreathed in flames.
Yeah, I think I may have seen it either in his workshop or somewhere, because I definitely have it written down.
Yeah, it's a and on the back of the where you hold it as to use as a seal, around the edges is carved calligraphy in an infernal, which you can't quite read.
I'm gonna pull out his foot and see if there's anything fancy about it.
Thalia wants to check the back of this guy's neck for any tattoos.
No, he does not appear to have any tattoos on the back of his neck.
Okay.
Did he have any hidden rings on his toes? He's laughing.
No.
I didn't think there would be, but I had to ask. I have a foot. What am I going to do with it?
And yes, it's obvious that it's his foot. Although it's kind of weird because the foot ends kind of at the shin, and then the section that's missing from his body is like kind of like from the thigh down. So where his knees went, you have no idea.
Is there any like clothing? Like, is there any like remains like clothing on his body?
Nothing that you could probably salvage.
Well, no, like I just want like a scrap.
Oh yeah, you can definitely cut a scrap from his tattered and burnt and blasted clothing.
This crazy bastard comes back. I want a way to have some way of tracking him. So I have his foot and a piece of his clothing.
Yes, he's gonna come back as a peg leg zombie.
Hey man, I don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna. If we ever make it back, I'm gonna give it to the guy, Duncan, just in case these killings start happening again. Use the foot.
I was actually really hoping you guys would kill Aelin as well, but that's fine.
I wanted to save her.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to save her.
Holy crap! Have you guys ever watched any of Westworld?
Yeah, I love Westworld, man.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm like 6 episodes into it. Started watching it yesterday. It's like that's what I'm gonna do with most of my day.
Oh! I forgot. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. You find amongst his possessions a scroll of protection. You can tell. No, 2 scrolls of protection, which is kind of odd. And they're completely opposite of each other. One is a protection from fiends, and another one is protection from celestials.
Well, I don't care about any of that, guys.
It's useful to have.
Oh yeah, I can't read it. So I'm
Does anyone want the brooch of shielding?
Milo could really benefit from it, but if somebody else, he really wants the books most of all, but he will take the brooch if no one else wants it.
I mean, I would wear it if no one else didn't want it, but since you kind of want it, I don't care. I'm more pissed off that my rifle's up there.
What does the potion of vitality do?
I believe it acts like a greater restoration potion or a lesser restoration potion. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
Yeah. When you drink the potion, it removes any exhaustion you are suffering and cures any disease or poison affecting you for the next 24 hours. You regain maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend. And the potion's crimson liquid regularly pulses with dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat.
And in fact, it kind of freaks you out for a moment because you guys recall the last time you saw this pulsing heartbeat was when you were inside the lab with the giant heart.
How
It
much?
has the same rhythm to it.
How much of that 300 foot of silken rope do I actually get? Can I bring?
You
200
have
foot.
250 foot.
Alright, so it's actually 200 foot, so it's 150. Okay.
Alright, so you guys can split the stuff among you. The only thing Arthur wanted was that stupid necklace. Not the brooch, the one that's the obelisk.
Also, from the bag of holding, when you guys emptied it out on the plateau, you recover various denominations of coinage, adding up to about 400 gold.
Oh,
Yay.
And we're basically just like drenched and soaked in this blood and everything, right?
Yeah, this like half blood, half cave water, half sewage.
I'm gonna like take like the hemp, not even the silken rope because that's nasty. But I have 50 foot of hempen rope. Actually, I'll take the rope from the explorer's pack and kind of make like a makeshift like clothes hanger, and just strip basically to my boxers and just hang up all my clothes. I suggest you do the same. Definitely my socks.
Okay. Well,
would-
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. Out of the two remaining things, I don't know if anybody took the Wand of the War Mage.
We'd give that one to you. You're the only
Yeah.
really spellcaster besides me, and I don't want that one.
Yeah, I take that, and then whoever wants Brooch of Shielding can take it.
That's like the protection against magic missile, right?
Yep.
Force stamina.
Force damage. Yeah.
Obi doesn't really care. The only thing he would want would be the bag of holding, but since he has the satchel of holding, he's happy. He's happy and grumpy, so.
Yeah. Milo would definitely take both. I'm just trying not to
Yeah,
be
take him.
greedy.
He doesn't care. I don't care.
Thalia would gather up, because we now have all 3 quest books that we needed.
Indeed.
I'm sure Milo's gonna go over them before. He's probably sitting there in the hut, just reading them.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning some new spells.
Oh, that's right. We had a spell book that had what? A lot of level 1 and 2 spells?
He had a spell book that had all of the level 1 and 2 spells from all the classes. Although he can't technically learn some of them because he's not a divine caster.
Can I you know what? No, that's a dumb question.
Although they are never mind. Don't worry about it.
So, Matt, are we like where you have us marked at, or?
No, you guys are I'll move.
Okay. And is there any obvious way out of here? Or the graze the land, that makes more sense.
Not unless you search the place, and we'll leave that for next time.
Okay, well, it's bloody water. I have an extra Howdy pistol in my bag. I'm going to have it loaded with regular shots. And I'm going to look at the water and see if I see any moving logs, because this is crocodile territory, I bet. Granted, it's a lot deeper down than the sewer, but Mama gotta come from somewhere.
Yeah, so if you recall, Milo, when you came down here, you estimate that you've gone down about 300 feet from the room that you were in.
Yes.
There's no way to get us to the top. You guys can't, like, magic our way up there, can you? Or magic one of your ways up there and get a rope with you.
Let me see what I got.
Oh wait, didn't we get chime of opening? Did I hear that?
You did.
The chime of opening?
And you said that there was basically an explorer's pack in there?
Yeah, Explorer's Pack and just odds and ends of pretty much. I'll allow you to pick anything from the player's handbook's adventuring supply section. Anything that's like worth below like 5 gold. Just odds and ends in there.
Well, if no one took the chime of opening, I'll take that.
It can't be unseen server and can't be more than 60 feet away, so that won't work.
What about your familiar? Could you fly it up there?
I'm gonna see what other. I definitely can, but it's got to be able to do what we're intending it to do. I gotta look at what I can cast. Right now, it's a fish.
So did your fish find the orb or not?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Hmm. I mean, you can get like a hawk would be able to fly it up there, but it's not gonna be able to tie something.
Okay, and like loop around it and like, well, no. I mean, obviously this is where Arthur wants to be to try to find that place, but he doesn't want to die down here either.
You mean Obadiah?
That's what I said. I always, for some reason, think Arthur. For me, it's obviously not.
So if we're gonna be here for like 24 hours, then whenever the hut goes up, and Milo can cast the hut as well if need be. I'm gonna start studying spells.
Yeah, the hut spell's just nice.
Are we going to benefit from a long rest, Kev, or do you want
Yep.
to just keep that up? Okay.
Within the hut, you're so safe, unless they're like spell casting wildlife.
Or burrowing creatures.
Well, in my mind, the hut extends underground as well, so
Can I tell if this chime of opening's been used at all?
it has.
Alright, so I don't know how many times. Like, how
I don't
roughly?
know how many times.
Alright, that's fine.
You suspect, gathering just from inferences of talking to the Mysterian, this person may have used this chime to break into somewhere to steal books that he otherwise was not given access to.
I just put chime of opening been used before. Question mark.
How does the cure wounds orb recharge?
It's
Dawn.
At dawn, and I have to add a caveat to this, by the way, and it's not one that I added. It's one that like I believe I brought up to you guys, but I don't see it here written down here. It's not only at dawn, but it has to be exposed to the light of dawn.
Yeah, that's what I sort of remembered it, but I wasn't super sure.
Yeah.
So if it has to be exposed to light of dawn, would a daylight spell work or not?
No, it specifically has to be the light of dawn.
Oh, that's no fun.
All right. Well, I gotta get up early. So, have a good night.
Toodles.
Yep.
Run.
Thanks
See
for
you
playing,
Wednesday.
and sorry for almost killing you.
Hey, you could have straight up killed us. I could be rolling someone new right now.
I mean, I'll be perfectly frank. Like, Obadiah could have totally died. Like, he could have easily totally died.
I expected it.
It was only purely because you rolled that freaking natural 100 and then that natural 20.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I was gonna try to jump in that hole and then AED you on the way down, but I didn't think it would have enough time.
All right, well, I'll see you guys all next, Tuesday for me, but Monday for you.
Sweet.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.